Hello, everybody. This is Sean from DGBIM, and I wanted to create this video to give a quick overview of the project, the 14 acres in Los Gatos. Let me bring in the model here. So we're going to start off with, this is the original surveyor's map that was done, or that was supplied to us, that we were going to overlay our information onto. So what I wanted to do was bring in, so we have the contour numbers, so you can see along here, and I'll bring in the contour lines, topo lines, and you'll see how that they line up with the ones that are there. But let's bring in the major contours. So these are every 10 feet. So this is the as-built, or what is on site now. And then we have every 2 foot contour lines between. And it gets a little busy there, but you can see the original contour lines, you can see were done. They must have been done prior to the grading of the road, is my best guess. There might have been a road or a swale up here, but when we bring in the major and the 2 foot contours, you can see where the road is. The upper entrance here, you can see the cut and the little turnout, and then the upper platform here where the barn and the house goes, and then the lower driveway going down and around. You can also see the upper road that comes to this upper platform. But one of the things I wanted to show, and we'll go into perspective for this. So we have, there's two different mesh models that we have from our scan data. There's a 1.8 million faces, which is it's still large, but it's relatively small. I'm going to turn on the 19 million faces, which shows a lot more detail. And so when I do that, you're going to see, let me turn it back off here for a second. So you can see where the original contour lines from the surveyor showed the trees, large tree stumps. That's what these circles are. Those represent tree stumps. And then you can see when we bring in our data that a lot of those are like right on or very close. And so what I want to do is I'm going to turn back on the 19 million faces, and we're going to go into perspective mode. So now we have the original topo map placed over the top. That's what we were looking through. But here this is the mesh, the 19 million faces, to create this model. So when we were out there doing the survey, they were getting ready to pour the foundation. I think they were forming up for the perimeter. These high spots in here, this was the existing material that was around where they were going to pour. I think these were the trees, those fallen redwoods that were laying down there. These areas here that just look like blobs, these are brush, things that weren't trimmed away. But you can see up here in the rest of the model here, you can even see this is the footprint of the grade. There's a grade all there with the blade laying down in the dirt, and then the 6 tires. And I think this back tire here was flat. That's why it's sticking down the way that it is. But you can see these are where the tubes, the erosion tubes are that have the erosion control in them. Here's your road coming up, the little turnout. Up here at the top, the day that we were there, when we scanned this upper section, the reason this looks like a hole back in here is because the scanner was bouncing off of the moisture. There was water here because I think there's a spring in this area. So when the scanner hits water, just like a mirror, it just creates a hole like that. But you can see the detail that it's generating. These were ruts and divots in this wet spot in the road when we were driving up here and parking up here that second day. And so the hillside that this hillside up here, where towards the water tanks, you can see as we cleaned up the point cloud and got rid of the canopy, these are the bases of all the trees. And those are the things I was pointing out, how we had really good alignment with our data with the original surveyors data. So quite a few trees up on this place here. One of the things that didn't really line up, and I know that Zach wanted me to confirm, but you can see this this little flat section here. This is I think it was about 3 by 3, maybe a little bit bigger, a concrete pad that had a tube coming out of it. And I think he said this was the wellhead or whatever. And when I go back to plan view, you can see that it looks like they're saying that this is where the wellhead is. But this is the area. You can barely see it. You can see it when we go into the angle like this. You can see the circle here where there was a white plastic tube coming out of the concrete, and so that's what I'm assuming was the wellhead. But anyway, we've got the upper road going up towards the top, up towards the water tank. So you can see down here, we've got the footing for the lower part of the house. And I believe that this is looking at the plans, it looks like this is the lower section, and then you've got the upper portion of the house here. This is the cut for that. This pile is probably going to get taken away, and I think that this is where the porch is that comes down around the side. And anyway, this is that lower water. You can see the drainage. I think you guys had rock or boulders in here and a holding area. And yeah, so all of our topo dimensions line up with everything. They're just different shapes from the new cuts and the changes from the road and whatnot. And but one of the things that we're going to be able to do for future stuff is that any connections between any of these guys, so any underground trenching or anything like that you want documentation of, we can come back out, scan that while the trench is open. It would be beneficial if the pipes were in there so we can get actual location depth-wise of any underground work that you're going to do, and we will document that so we can lay one scan over the top of the other and have any underground documentation that you need. So anyway, just wanted to give everybody a heads up that what I'm going to do is I will send a PDF in a ArcD and an ArcE file format. So you have a 24 by 36 and a 36 by 48 scaled drawing with all the new topo lines. And I'll do one where the magenta majors and the 2-foot minors are laid over the top of the existing. And then I'll do one separate so it's by itself. And those will all be scalable. And at any time you guys need this model information, you need to do some cuts to check volumes of material, either to fill holes or material being removed, please reach out and we will get that information for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the work. Take care.